All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We are coming to you live from PAX Unplugged here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Last day of the con, getting into the home stretch here, but still bringing you all the awesome games from throughout the weekend. So let's get into the introductions. As per usual, I'm your host, Matt, and I'm joined here with our special guest, Aron from Elzra Games. How you doing there, Aron? Good day?
Keeping well, Matt. Do my best to keep my voice.
It is a struggle. Trust me, I know.
Our booth has been mobbed, so we've been basically talking continuously from when we open the booth right in the morning, right to the very end, after 6.
I believe it. It's a fun game you got here. So you brought something to show off today. You brought us Catacombs Conquest, right?
That's correct, yes.
So let me go over and we can show off the board here. I'll zoom over to what we need to. So tell us, what is Catacombs Conquest?
So it's our new dexterity-based card game.
Okay.
Okay, so for those of you that are familiar with Catacombs, you flick your discs around the board, and you're using various heroes to accomplish the task that's before you in the game that you're playing. In Catacombs and Castles, for example, that's our competitive game. You're playing on a team, looking to inflict damage on your opponents. Catacombs 3rd Edition, obviously you've got one player controlling the Dungeon Master, and you're then flicking to attempt to eliminate those monsters. But during those games, you are playing the same character the entire time.
Right.
What's different about Catacombs Conquest is that I'm going to play a card, and that's going to tell me what character that I'm effectively going to become for that particular round. So Matt here has placed the Raven Empress, for example, from the so-called good team, the sword team, there for you to see. You can see that there's some elements there that people who are familiar with Catacombs would understand, i.e. our dexterity icons that would indicate what you're going to do when you play this card on the board.
Right. So what do these icons here mean? If you could give us a brief rundown of those.
Yeah, so what we've got there, the Raven Empress character is pretty powerful. She's going to do a melee shot, so you would be flicking your disc.
So that's the standard disc there.
That's correct, the character disc. And then she can do a rush shot, which would mean to say that she can move, but if she hits one of your opponents, they're not going to inflict any damage. And finally, the fireball would be flicked as a ranged attack at the end of that particular sequence.
So that's a separate disc that you're doing as a ranged attack. So you're not moving your character. Essentially, you're using the spell or the actual ranged attack separate disc for that.
That's correct. And we include several different types of ranged attacks with the set.
So like another one we have here, we have this attack.
Okay. That's correct. So in this particular case, we've got the Moss Fairy character here, and you'll notice at the bottom that there is also special effects that are unique to this card. So we have the standard shot sequence, which in this case is it adds the target modifier and then a rush shot for this particular character. But then you can also perform the special rule that's at the bottom of the card.
Okay. So for this one, may discard a card to immediately perform the Moss Fairy shot sequence again. So discard a card from your hand and then do it all over again.
Well, that's correct, and that's actually a pretty powerful card because anytime that you get that target modifier, it means to say you can, there's a mechanic to be able to retake your shot in case you missed.
Gotcha. So you're saying that there's a bunch of different ranged attacks, and those attacks differ because there are actually different attack discs for those. So
That's
I know
correct.
You've got those off to the side of the board here, so I could actually do that there. So those are the different ranged attack discs. So you got the fireball, you got the arrow. How do those affect the gameplay differently?
Well, because they are different sizes, they are going to travel across your play area differently. And you can see that they're going to have different physical properties and different ways that they ricochet off of the our mobile obstacles and the other character discs. So there's different degrees of accuracy, if you like, that are possible with the different types of range discs. Obviously, the very large fireball disc, for example, in the final version of the game is actually a power wave. You can see it's very, very easy to hit. However, it's going to travel across the board more slowly. My brother, very good, for example, with headshots with the extra small disc. He can flick across and really hit people very, very accurately because it can kind of weave between those obstacle discs more easily.
Absolutely. So how does the scoring in this game work?
So you're going to have on your team a set of health tokens. And the core object of the game is to deprive your opponent of those health tokens as you're performing the various attacks on the card. So the essence of the game is to provide people with a very gentle introduction to our dexterity game system so that once you understand some of the basic mechanics of how this game works, you could, for example, graduate to Catacombs or Catacombs and Castles. However, there's a lot of strategic depth that does emerge from this game just in and of itself as a standalone introductory unit. Mm-hmm. If you don't mind me mentioning, one of the key differences is the fact that after I've played a card, I actually get to move one of these obstacle discs. So the game board is going to evolve and change as we're playing. So that's a key differentiator. In Catacombs, these obstacles stay fixed. Okay. In Catacombs and Castles, you set them up once, and it stays that way for the entire game. Each board's going to be different, but it remains the same.
Right.
In this game, I'm going to be moving these around.
It's constantly changing the entire time.
It's constantly changing the entire time. So these are our mobile obstacles here in this one.
Very cool. So do you want to get into it and show off a few rounds of Catacombs Conquest?
Sure, let's do that.
Sounds good. So there's little marks on the board itself on where you put the starting tokens. They're very faint, so it doesn't overwhelm the game, but it's an example. You can kind of see it's a different color there, so that's how you know where to put everything to start out with. We're not doing it randomly. So remind us again how the turn order works.
So we just decide who's going to start. There's some various suggestions in the rulebook, but we're just going to draw some cards into our hand.
And how large is our hand?
Well, we're going to. You would draw 4 cards, but then you always get a card at the beginning of the turn, so it ends up being 5.
Okay.
There are rules that allow you to play where you draw a card at the end of your turn as well. So it really depends.
Okay.
So 5 cards. Here we go.
So what happens if you run out of cards from your deck?
The game's over and you lose. No, I'm just kidding with you. There's various ways that you can, for example, reset your deck.
Okay.
That's some of the special abilities that are in the game. So that's going to come up, and that's going to allow you to prevent that from happening.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to move first then. Okay. We'll just say that we came up with some kind of gentlemanly way to determine who goes first.
We played a rousing game of rock, paper, scissors. He beat me handily, so he's going first.
Right. Yeah, we did that off camera, right? Absolutely crushed it. So what I'm going to play now is this card, and Matt's going to put it on the close-up cam here.
So, as a reminder, anything you see clear there, that's not see-through on the card screen. We got the green screen going. But you're playing the Barbarian there, so you've got a melee, a rush, and then another melee.
Yeah, that's correct. And in this game, we have these tokens which dictate which disc that we have to use. So I'm going to pass one of these tokens. So this is Matt's token. It's green. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's do another one. Let's do my one.
Well, here, I can flip this over, and it's purple and yellow there.
So this would be my one, just so they can see what it looks like. So this would tell me when I start the game that I have to flick this disc, and Matt's going to put that up there as well.
And look
so
at
you
that.
can see how it
match
matches
each other.
So when I'm playing that card, that is the character disc that's going to execute this attack. All right? So now, this is a very straightforward card. Good old Zorik the Barbarian, his dark form, is going to do a melee shot. When it goes off of the mat, that's not a problem. We just put them back right there.
Right where they went off the
Right where it went off the board. And not shown here, of course, is our wall system, which prevents things from falling off the table. Now I've got my rush shot where I get to move, and I banked it off of that obstacle disc, and then I flick again, and I just missed Matt's Matt's disc there. So no damage was scored, and it's now Matt's turn. But before it is, I get to move one of the obstacle discs. So Matt knows now that I'm going to be moving my gray disc, and he's basically safe from my blue disc because I'm going to flip it over. And he knows now that my gray disc is on deck.
Right.
Then I'm going to move this one just slightly there. And that's Matt's turn to play a card.
And so I have to go with my purple disc because that's the tile that I have face up there.
That's correct. That's just how we started it off.
So I'm going to play the dwarf miner here.
Okay.
So I'm going to do 2 melees back to back, and I'm gonna see if I can get this shot going here. I'll move this so we can see what I'm working with. Thank you, Josh.
Yes.
So I think I did hit you there, right?
You did.
Okay.
I'm going to give that to you.
So, but then I flew off the board and I went. So where am I going to come back in?
You're going to come back in right where you left, and you should now have a nice, easy shot to be able to hit me again.
I think so. So I'm going to go.
Yeah, that's right.
I went a little aggressive there. I don't know my own strength.
No, exactly. But just flicking game, and you're going to quickly learn how that works. So they're just going to come back on the edge of the board there, and you now would have received 2 tokens.
Okay.
So you're gonna get those. They're out of my health pool there, and I'm one step closer to destruction. Okay.
And also, it's got excavation as the modifier text at the bottom there. So it's discard the top 3 cards from an opponent's deck.
That's right. So I'm going to pass you my deck, and you're going to show people how you're going to remove those 3 cards, and they're gone, right?
So all of these awesome cards that he had there. Oh, there was a heal life in there too. Those are some good cards there.
So both my cards that had the power wave shot, as luck would have it, are now out of my deck.
Power wave's the strongest attack.
Yeah, the strongest
in the game,
attack,
yeah.
right? So nice job, Matt. Good choice on that one.
I'd like to say I planned it that way, but
right.
you know.
You did plan it that way. So now this goes into my the barbarian card goes into my discard pile, and it is now my turn. And of course now I'm drawing a card to proceed with playing.
Okay.
How much more time do we have for?
Oh, you're good. We got like 15 minutes still.
Okay. All right. So now I've got my gray disc, as indicated by the token up here, and I have to do something.
And that's
with
the one that's
him.
all out on its lonesome over there. So I'm not too worried about that, unless you could really get a nice shot to get you closer.
So I'm going to try this skeleton archer.
Okay. So skeleton archer. That's going to be a rush and then a ranged attack there.
That's right, and it's a target one. So if I miss, I get to reshoot.
Oh, so you get a do-over.
That's right.
One do-over with it.
I get a do-over, exactly. So I'm going to move in here, and then this is just a simulation without the correct sticker on it of that disc.
Oh.
And so I would have designated that target, and I hit your disc there. That would have inflicted 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And now I get to move one of these obstacle discs. I'll move that one.
Okay.
And then I'm flipping over the token. And just to be clear to the folks watching at home, we're already aware that these 2 colors are actually very, very similar. And in the final version of the game, that's been corrected.
Okay.
All right.
And
so this
you're
is
going
now
to get one of those tokens from me then because you did damage to me, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
So that's going to go over there.
Okay, so now it's my turn. I'm going to draw my card as the first action here.
Yep.
And, I am going to do this. This is SD here, the Amazon. I'm going to do that, and it's a stunned effect if I hit you. This is
Very
going to
nice.
be it's supposed to be with my green card there. I didn't flip it over from last time. So
Okay.
I'm going to go over, and I'm going to...
Bam.
I hit you right off the board there, so that's going to do a damage to you, but then it's also going to make you stunned there.
That's correct.
So you're not going to be able to play a character next turn. You're going to have to just take a rush action.
That's correct.
Okay.
You got it. So this is going to remove 2 of these health tokens.
So why 2 there instead of just 1?
Because that is a critical melee. You can see that it's colored in red.
Right.
Therefore, it inflicts 2 points of damage instead of just 1.
Gotcha.
So she's pretty good. Especially because, my poor blue guy, he's getting hammered over there. And he really, really needs that rush shot now to hopefully escape.
Right.
So,
well, I can move some of the terrain now, right?
You do.
My turn.
You definitely get to do that first.
Your blue is going to be your next one to go, correct?
Correct.
So
yeah.
I'm going to be really mean right here, and I'm going to go like that. So I think that. So how does that work? It's going to go like that then?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it is. And you've effectively blocked me in.
Right.
That was a nice
the blockade there.
nice strategic choice there, Matt.
I'm not the nicest of people,
right?
You know, but I'm out for blood here.
Yeah. So he's we're already seeing that competitive element start emerging, right? Because not only has he stunned me, but now I have to do a single rush shot. I can't even do that. I'm going to have to do my best to see by reaching over the table. So first of all, of course, I do get to draw a card, and I have to now play a card. I've got to discard one of my valuable cards so that I do this single rush shot. And I'm going to discard the Vampire Guard, okay? But I only get to do a single rush shot. And I'm going to get up here.
I'll give you some room there.
Well, and this is the thing about Catacombs. The twist is set up here very nicely with very standard board games. As soon as we get into this, I know Matt's going to be getting up anytime now to actually walk all the way around here to make that critical shot to finish me off. So here we go.
Oh, boy.
And you can see, pretty good at catching things. You get good at this with dexterity games. I managed to free myself with that single rush shot. And I've ended up over here.
Okay.
Once again, we do have the wall system that that would normally be in place. That's not shown due to space constraints. So that's I get to move the terrain now as well.
Okay.
And I know that it's your
purple
one is next. So I'm going to try and move this up a little bit, and then I'm going to flip this over so it's my gray disc. That is.
I'm going to draw my card there. Let's see what options I have. I have, I think I like that. I'm not sure though. So you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to play Varish, the wizard here. So I'm going to do a melee. So I'm going to try to smack you in the face. I'm going to do purple onto the gray action over there. Let's see if I'm trying to do this backwards. I don't know. Oh,
yes.
Okay. I got it.
You did it. Okay, so that's another health point. Now remember, you get to do the fireball attack as well.
I still get a fireball.
So this is a pretty easy shot now as a result, but if my other disc was in range, you would potentially be attacking that as well instead.
Okay, so I think I got this one.
Okay.
There we go.
Good. All right. Now, the important thing about that card is you'll notice the armor icon to the right of the shot sequence. It's that gold shield there.
Oh.
This means that you now retain that card instead of discarding it. So you keep it off to the side, and any future shot of mine, including its effects that you want to negate, you can discard that card and prevent it.
Ooh, I like that.
So some of the cards that only have shot sequences on them also have that armor icon. All right? So now I'm going to go ahead and pick up a card. Got to place something here. I'm in a lot of trouble. How are we doing for time, Matt?
We're good.
We're good. Okay. All right. You're gonna finish me off in a couple of turns here anyway, right? So let's see. So I'm now going to play the Phoenix. I'm going to play the Phoenix card here.
Okay, so the Phoenix has a rush shot, and then it's got a fireball, and then may immediately reshuffle your discarded cards back into your deck.
And this is the mechanic that I was talking about earlier, where if you feel you're getting low on cards, you can use one of these cards that's in the deck there to reshuffle it. And there's some other mechanics for how the game deals with you running out of cards.
Right.
But in theory, you shouldn't, but this is one of the ways that you can mitigate it. I've got my gray disc here then. I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to go for the long shot.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one health off. And then I'm going to reshuffle my deck, so including these ones that were discarded. I'm hoping now that I'm going to be able to get some of my characters back that have that good old power wave shot.
I hope
see
not.
if I can get out of trouble here. So I've reshuffled my deck.
And then are you going to move any of the terrain?
I am, so I'm looking here to see.
So I'm actually going to be up with green next. I forgot to flip that at the end of my last turn.
No problem. So I'm going to try and move this guy up.
Oh, no.
Try and barricade you in there a little bit, and I'm going to flip my token over, and you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to draw a card.
Okay.
And then, okay. I got, This is a toughie. This is a toughie. You know what? I'm going to play the one, the only, the Roos and the Chicken Champion.
A personal favorite at the con here. Everyone that we were demoing Catacombs to, if they were given the option to choose the chicken, they'd take the chicken. So very popular character. Nice to see Rusan making an appearance here.
All right, so I'm going to do the rush shot, and then I've got a melee and then another rush.
Right.
So I'm going to rush in.
Yep. Here we go. Good.
I'm going to go for the melee here.
You bet. Yep.
And then I'm going to run away because blue is up next. So I'm gonna run back here.
Sounds good. And of course, you've inflicted another point of damage on me, and my health pool is getting dangerously low.
And then I'm going to do some terrain movement here, and I'm going to go over there.
Okay.
Hopefully that affects you enough. And that's going to be the end of my turn then, right?
And we're going to flip you over here.
There we go.
Back to the purple side. So here we go. Let's see. All right. So I'm on purple. Tough. Okay. So I'm going to use the Gorgon character.
She's going to green screen real nice there.
Yep. An invisible Gorgon. Look at that. That's amazing.
It's even scarier.
Yeah.
So that's a melee, a rush shot, a fireball, and then fear. Perform a rush shot with one of your opponent's character discs. So you're going to make my guy run away. Is what
that's
you're
right.
saying there.
Exactly. Yep. You got it. So let's see how that goes. So this is the first shot here. Of course, that doesn't do any damage.
Right.
I'm going to hit you again. Doesn't do any damage because it's a rush shot. But now, of course, I get my fireball shot. And I can hit your character with that and remove a health token. But then I don't have to execute the fear shot with the character disc that I hit. I can actually use it on this one and discard the card.
Try and get me out of range because that's my next one up there.
Correct. So I'm going to try them with my terrain movement.
Oh.
That wasn't so good.
And
then, of course, I'm flipping over here. Okay, Matt, for the win.
This could be for the win.
This could be for the win.
So I'm gonna.
I'm
gonna play. I'm gonna butcher that name. Lothmirowin.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, she is invisible there.
She's absolutely invisible. Again, we've got an invisible Moss Fairy.
So I'm gonna need that. So that's a targeted fireball I can do right there.
That's correct. You got it.
So that means if I miss, I get to try it again.
You got it.
Oh boy.
From where it ended up.
I'm liking my odds.
Well, this is one of the best cards in the game. So you're doing what?
Purple's attacking.
Yep, there you go.
I'm going for the gray there, so I'm going to go. So everyone sees a shot there. I'm going to go. Boop. I think I got you there.
So no target required?
No target required. Target was perfectly in line of sight there.
And that's a fist bump.
There we go.
For defeating the designer, right?
Woo! That's another feather in my cap there. I like it. All right, so Aron, is there anything else you want to tell us about Catacombs Conquest, where we can find the game?
Well, this is a prototype that we're looking at here. It's in the process of going into production.
Okay.
And we expect it to be available early next year.
Fantastic.
So that's the. We hope that folks are looking for it and are interested in giving it a try. And it'll be about I don't know, probably the $20, $30 kind of range, if that, something like that. So very affordable.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Aron. We really do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for watching at home. Stay tuned for some more live coverage from PAX Unplugged here in Philly. Signing off, though, I'm Matt, joined here with Aron. See you later, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.